I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gonna feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take me for granted and you know I'm leaving. I'ma take what's mine with the webs I'm weaving. I could take this crowd from seeing to believing. Got a taste for blood and my tongue keeps bleeding from the words I spit. So sharp, so freezing, so cold. Behold, frostbite they feeling. I could tear you apart or I could go heal them. Don't believe in fate, don't believe in ceilings. I just need a taste and my mind starts feeling. I don't pace myself, I grind on kneeling. Got lust for change, I just love the feeling. I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times. Cause anything worth doing is a tough climb. I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times. Cause anything worth doing is a tough climb. Cause I'ma live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I go by at night, I be in my feelings. I'ma be fine, need time, and I'll soon be winning. I live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I go by at night, I be in my feelings. I'ma be fine, need time, and I'll soon be winning. I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gonna feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gonna feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon.
All right, all right. Welcome to Ladies and Gent Night.
Man, that was mean right there, yo. That was decent.
Yeah, yeah. It's a nice beat. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I wish it'd be a little bit longer. I'm gonna find one that lasts a little longer than the same one, but longer than 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I tend to play it more times. All right,
Mm-hmm.
so surprise, surprise for some of y'all that's coming through. No, you did not see wrong. It's not a misprint or or something or accident or fat fingers getting in the way. It is ladies and gent night for ladies night, and it's open panel, so men and women can um come on to the panel. But in the
Yeah, and we
meantime,
still gonna have right, and we still gonna have the regular ladies' night. The ladies and gent night will evolve into its own show. Okay, so ladies' night isn't going anywhere. We're just getting ready to revamp stuff. Go ahead.
all right. So yeah, so exactly. So we evolving into a new show. See how this comes out. It'll have its own time slot.
Yeah, because
And
we've been getting people, responses about how come there are no men on the show, and this is coming from women, not from men. The black women are saying, "Yo, where are the guys at?" You know what I'm saying? They don't want to be. A lot of them don't want to be up with just women. You know what I'm saying? They want some men involved. So that's when me and Dane put it together and decided to come out with the ladies and gent night to satisfy those who want the men on, and then we also got the traditional ladies night, which satisfy the women who just want to be hanging out with the girls. Dane?
exactly, exactly. Because sometimes, okay, let's admit, sometimes there's things that seem from different points of view. The women's point of view, the men's point of view, and sometimes they want to have a discussion, a debate about it, or they have their own thoughts and views on the topic at hand. Mhm. Yeah. And sometimes the guys will want to respond to whatever we're talking about. And Hey, ladies' night is ladies on the panel only, so they tend to discuss in chat.
Right. And so to give everybody notice, um, Gangster Talk will return sometime next week. Max is back. I am back. It's been a long time. I had to heal up. My knees were pretty bad, so I had to heal up from that. So I'm back. That's where I was at for a while. I was rehabbing. So you guys didn't hear from me in a while. I tried to show up every now and then with the Damester, but I will be officially back next week. All y'all who thought you got rid of me and thought I was gone, you are sadly mistaken. Max is back. Is that right, Dane?
That's right.
Uh,
Yes, that is correct. All right. So, as usual, we're going to cover our bases with Copyright Act. Okay, let's see. Everything's set up and clear. All
I
right.
might be changing. Yeah, but hold on a second. I might be changing my name though. You know what I'm saying? I'm probably going to get rid of the maximum, and change it to mega. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to be going by Mega Black instead of Maximum Black. So I might be doing that. Okay. Go ahead, Dane.
All right. Let's cover our bases. This channel may contain content not authorized for use by its owner. However, according to Section 107 of the Copyright Act of the United States, the fair use, I repeat, the fair use of copyrighted work for purposes such as criticism, definitely, comment, assuredly, news report, only for those who don't know, teaching, we're going to learn something new today, scholarship, or research is not an infringement of copyright. All right, fair use, everyone.
So what's this about? This is Shanquella, right?
This is Shanquella.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so for those who don't know, uh, this is an update on the Shanquella Robinson's case. Yeah, I think Max appreciated Jody.
Yeah, I really do, Joe. I appreciate that. But I had two serious injuries on my knees that I had to get taken care of. You know what I'm saying? So it was a long road of rehab and recovery, but I'm to the point now to where I'm, pretty healthy with my knees. But I'm still rehabbing though. But I'm not rehabbing every day like I was before.
Mhm.
But I'm back, Jody. Gangster Talk will make its return, and I'm telling you right now, I'm coming for blood. Um, Red Supreme better watch out. The Passport Boys, the Manosphere, the Conscious Community. I'm coming for everybody.
All right. Okay, so Shanquella Robinson.
And make it no. I'm sorry, Dane.
Mhm.
I am sick and tired of Red Supreme.
Mhm.
I'm gonna say this one more time. I am sick and tired of Red Supreme. Go ahead, Dane.
Okay. All right. So as I was saying, okay, Shaquilla Robinson. There's some updates. We have some comments, especially the Black Knight has some comments about this. But here we go.
Shanquella Robinson died last October in Mexico while on a trip with friends. Her father is now speaking out days after the DOJ decided not to file charges in connection to her death. This comes as an American autopsy showed her spine was still intact when she died. That contradicted an autopsy released by Mexican investigators that said she died from a severe spinal cord injury. Erica Lunsford talked with Shanquella's father at her gravesite, where a new marker has been installed.
I just want y'all to come out here and let everyone know around this world.
Nearly 6 months after her death while on vacation in Mexico, then 25-year-old Shanquella Robinson now has a grave in her hometown of Charlotte at the Beatties Ford Memorial Gardens in Huntersville.
Her mark is right here. This father right here, I can drive her anytime and come and see her.
Bernard Robinson, Shanquella's father, opened up Monday. This was the first time he spoke since federal prosecutors chose not to file criminal charges in the death of his daughter. Simply put, Robinson says justice will be served.
The case is still open. Right now, they just saying a lack of evidence. But eventually, God gonna do something where there's gonna be evidence. So it's just coming. It's just a matter of time.
Shanquella's father also talked about his daily hardships, made even harder, he said, knowing the people who last saw his daughter alive, those who left her body in Mexico, aren't facing charges.
Their life is still moving around, walking around here like they enjoy life. But this father right here struggling each and every day. These 6 individuals, y'all didn't put a hole in this father's heart here, though. Sure enough have.
Moving forward with faith, Robinson says he is grateful for her name here on a gravesite where he and others can now come to feel close to Shanquella.
This way Shanquella at. So the mothers and the fathers want to bring their kids.
And then pause for a minute.
Stand right here and,
You know something, man, as a father, it's very hard to raise girls. I know several brothers who had all girls and they had to try to raise those girls. It's extremely difficult for a man to raise girls. And so to get it right and then have that daughter taken away from you, it's like you said, it's like tearing your heart out. You know what I'm saying? And they're going to get what they deserve. Karma's going to come back. I'm shocked that the feds didn't want to prosecute this in a violation of civil rights, because when the civil rights workers were murdered down there in Mississippi, the people who did the murder was brought into federal court and charged with a violation of civil rights. So I'm not sure what's going on here. I mean, they murdered this girl. Now you have an autopsy that isn't jiving with what they said. They said that her spine was intact when she died. So what did she die from, Dane? What did she actually die from? Are they trying to say that she didn't die from the beating? Okay, apparently Dame is off doing something, but this tells me that they're trying to say that she didn't die from the beating that was on tape. Is that what you?
That's what it sounds like.
Okay, apparently Dame is, huh?
What the? Whoa! Wait! I'm getting an echo. Okay. All right. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah. What is going on? Are you all right?
Okay. Something weird was going on with my computer. As I was trying to say, I don't know what they're trying to say. Because from we was told it was the killing was her spine was fractured. They're trying to say it's not. Demetrius said blunt trauma can kill. So, but they saying
I know that we're well aware of the blunt trauma, but what they're saying is she died with her spine intact. That changes everything. Now we have to go back and see if the beating was the cause of her death. Apparently, one coroner don't know how to do a goddamn autopsy. or even if there was an autopsy done versus somebody paying. I don't know. It's all weird. Again, Dan.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. I think they're trying to wash their hands of it, but they left the case open, uh, which is good. So criminal charges. That don't mean criminal charges cannot be filed. It's just that federal can't be. But there's nothing to say criminal charges.
I'm not
They
sure.
are. Mm-hmm.
Well, keep your hands to yourself. I'm not sure what that means. Because that was also said to an 11-year-old girl who was her head was nearly knocked off by a 6'6", 300-pound white man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what the sad part about that was? There were actually black men here on YouTube siding with the white man. Go ahead.
Okay, Jordan said they're saying not a spine death, it's still a beating death regardless. The spine was injured. Why would Mexico docs lie?
Well, I mean, they don't want to get into a thing with the U.S. probably. And the person, she's black. And they just probably don't care.
Mm-hmm. And then,
I mean, Hispanic people or Spanish people, whatever you want to call them, many of them hate black. Many of them hate black people too. Many of them. Go ahead, Dan.
okay, yeah. So, they don't want to say it, but they have their bias and their racism going on. Um, and they know the United States is, so they did just enough to say that they were doing something, but they probably had kind of had a clue that United States wasn't going to do it, or at least they wasn't going to send the person to Mexico to try. They did everything they and they just saying that, well, we did everything on our end. We just waiting for the United States to do theirs on their end.
Well,
The United States is not.
it sounds to me. It sounds to me like they don't want to get into no thing and have to collab with the United States.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to do that. They want to do it their way in their country. But now we're going to see, now that the U.S. has backed off, we're going to see if they at least still go forward with the femicide charge. Okay? Because Mexico did say that this was femicide.
Uh-huh.
So let's see if they go forward with that. Now, if they go forward with that, that can get the people put in jail. So hopefully they'll go forward with that. We'll have to go. Unfortunately, we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, but even if the United States is not sending the girl that they asked them sent to be tried to Mexico, and they releasing a federal case, the DA could still do a criminal case. South Carolina they could still do a criminal case. Is a South Carolina citizen being killed by another South Carolina citizen? So they can charge
Well, maybe they want
them and the state.
Maybe they don't want to file charges at this time. Maybe they want to see if Mexico is going to go forward with the femicide charge. I think that's what they're waiting to see first.
Okay.
Because I don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Oh no, go ahead.
I don't understand not bringing it. These people were American citizens, so they are still governed by American laws. I don't care if you're in another country or not.
Mm-hmm.
If you're still an active citizen in this country, then you are still governed by the laws of this country, even if you're in another country.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't understand just from the tape alone why they're not locked up over here.
Exactly.
That's blowing my mind. How you gonna look at that tape and say, well, her civil rights wasn't violated? She got dead somehow. I'm sure she didn't beat herself up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, she didn't beat herself up. Okay, so I'm hoping that the Americans will get involved if they go forth with the femicide.
Okay. All right. The answer, Demetri Crescent, femicide is if a person is being killed because they're female, girl, woman.
Hmm.
Homicide is
Right,
you
right.
killed.
It's right.
Just,
It's almost like a hate crime, right?
yeah.
Like if someone is getting killed simply because they're gay, but they don't call it gayicide. They just call it hate crimes. You know what I'm saying? So they with the women, you want to be a little bit more dramatic because women have a special place in this world. They bring life into this world, so you definitely don't want them being killed. Okay? So yes, it's going to be a little bit more drama or dramatics added to the women being killed than the men.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I don't have a problem with that. Let's finish up the video and then we got some more stuff to talk about.
Okay.
Talk to her. They can. They can.
Reporting in Huntersville, Erica Lunsford, WBTV, on your side.
Mr. Robinson also questioned why the people who were in Mexico with Shanquella left her behind. We've been following this case since October. All of our stories are on WBTV.com. You can watch them right now.
Okay. That's it.
What's up, Aaron? Long time no see. Dang, look who's in the chat. The real Aaron
Hey,
Collins.
Aaron.
What's going on, bro? Yeah, man, me and Dan been kind of like we was on a hiatus because I had to rehab. I had two bad injuries on my knees that I had to get taken care of. I had to rehab. So, but I've been watching and I've been listening. I have seen a lot of stuff go on, and like I said, this Red Supreme guy has really gotten under my skin. I am absolutely sick and tired of this Red Supreme dude. And he's only defaming black women for money. Okay. It would be different if he actually was molested by a black woman or whatever, and he feels this kind of way. But he doesn't. He's doing it for money. Go ahead, Dan.
Yeah. Hey, Chaos Rain. Okay, so it's still no reason why criminal charges can't be pressed. You know. Okay, federal
Well,
is out the picture. They're not shipping the girl off to Mexico to be tried. They're not arresting any of the other people that was involved. There should be arrests for murder,
I really
manslaughter,
don't know.
cover up, and fleeing the scene of a crime.
Right, I don't know how you don't make an arrest because they are actively governed by the laws in this country. It shouldn't matter because they're in another country. They was there for a vacation. They didn't go over there to live. So they had planned on returning to the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
They killed another American citizen. Okay? In this country, you get arrested, you get put in jail, you go to trial. I don't understand why they haven't been arrested. They committed a crime against another citizen of America.
Yeah. They if they was here in the United States, they've been arrested for assault, a conspiracy to assault, set up, let's see, manslaughter if they didn't believe it was murder, attempted murder if they believed it was murder. And
well, I'm not even
wait, what's that other one when you premeditated murder?
Yeah, I'm not concerned with that. I'm concerned with the fact that these people aren't or haven't been arrested. They committed a crime against another American citizen who's also still governed under the laws of this country. That law was broken. They should be arrested.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand. Now I can see the Fed stepping out. Okay, this really ain't their cup of tea anyway. This is up to the state government to bring charges against these people and arrest these people. Okay.
Yeah, they still could arrest them for or at least the state can arrest them for the murder or killing of a citizen of that state.
Yeah, you still have to obey the laws of that country, but unless you're going to live there, right, you are still governed by the laws of this country as well. I bet you if I went over to a country and killed somebody and come back, I would get locked up.
This has happened several times.
I would get locked up, and then I would get shipped to that country to face their laws. And then once I'm done with them, I will also be persecuted by America. Prosecuted, I mean. Okay.
Okay. We're talking about Shanquella Robinson case.
Yeah, we'd like to know why the people haven't been arrested. All of them are American citizens, still governed by the laws in this country. And they have committed a crime against another American citizen.
Shoot, I think as Black folks, we shouldn't be going to Mexico because Shanquella is not the only Black person that been killed in Mexico. Let me see. There was, in fact, the same day that she was killed, two other people died, but they didn't die from killing each other. There's some kind of let me see, some type of.
Okay, dang that. That would
But
be
anyway,
irrelevant. Okay, so
Well, they said that it was a man that deleted her. Well, that's the thing. The only thing they see is that Shanquella was being beaten by uh, one of the other women, and nobody was helping her, and they were busy
I
videoing.
think,
There was
well,
a
I
man that
think
set
that
her up.
the girl that beat her up
Hmm.
was a transgender.
She's not a transgender.
You sure about that?
Yes, yes, yes. I'm sure about that.
What is her name?
Uh,
Was it her name something like Ice Diamond or some crap?
no, no, that wasn't her name. Okay, hold on. Let me.
First of all,
Okay. Let's. Oh shoot. Okay. Her name was Dejanay Jackson.
yeah, that's some. Yeah, isn't that some kind of
No, no,
trans? I mean, that ain't no real name. Like,
no. That's a real name. I've dealt
doesn't
with
that sound?
several students that
But
has
why
a
does it
form of that
sound
name.
like a stage? Why does it sound like a stage name for a stripper?
Because somebody combined a couple of names, or they liked the sound of it, or they
It,
tried to make it unique.
I mean, that sounds like a transsexual. Dejanay Jackson. Who the fuck is named Dejanay Jackson?
Well, maybe not Jackson, but I do know a Dejanay. And they in one of them's in junior high, one of them's in high school.
Again, that sounds like a stage name for a stripper.
Okay, well
Ladies and gentlemen,
nowadays,
welcome to the stage, Miss Dejanay Jackson. Yeah. Okay. So go ahead. So mine, it's not over because the feds backed out. Okay,
uh-huh.
those are the feds. Okay, so the state needs to pick this up because that girl was murdered
Uh-huh.
by another American citizen. Now, in this country, you don't get to do that without being punished for it. I still don't under. I still, I'm like, why haven't they been arrested yet? I still can't figure that out. They broke the law. They killed another American citizen. Here's the thing. Here's the thing, right? Does the tape prove that she was dead at the time? It's probably, you probably can't see that on the tape.
Mhm.
Okay. And what's not being released is the time of death, the real time of death, or the real cause of death. Because the second autopsy showed that her spine was intact when she died. So her neck wasn't broken. Her spine wasn't broken. So what killed her? Hey,
Okay.
Dave,
Okay,
make
I'll
sure that ain't
see.
no point. Be ready now, okay?
Okay, all right. Here we go.
Get him on the trigger.
All right.
Can you hear me?
That's the real
Hello?
Yeah,
chaos.
yeah. That's
Yeah, it's me.
What
And
up,
it's
chaos?
been a while. It's ladies' night, so I don't really pop up on here. But y'all were talking about this, and I've
Well, we
covered
doing
this. Okay.
we doing a ladies and gent night tonight.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
so men are welcome to come out. Go ahead.
mhm.
Yeah. I've covered this, and I've been keeping tabs on this, and I find it ironic that they put the people that were the ones that was involved. one person, they should really put all of them, because all of them took her credit card to take the first ticket back home after leaving her almost dead
Mm-hmm.
in Mexico.
See, that's what I'm talking about, right? They steady committing crime. Right. They steady committing crimes against another American citizen. And they haven't been arrested yet?
No, because remember, and here's one thing, Max, I'll be moving, so if it sounds noisy, let me know. That what was going on after they came back home, they went to the parents and tell them what happened. Even to the point they went and ate dinner with the parents. And I find that to be effed up, man. That you sit there, you committed a crime, and you go back to her parents to break bread like it was nothing. And it makes me wonder who friends you have, because she paid for her friends to come to Mexico for her birthday.
Oh no, it wasn't her birthday. It was Dejanay's birthday.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Her birthday, Dejanay, the one that got. Oh no, Dejanay. I thought it was Shaquilla's birthday. Wasn't her birthday?
No, Shanquella was celebrating her business doing that. Her online business, her tutorials, little girl's hair, which was up in her other business.
Okay.
And Dejanay, it was Dejanay's birthday.
That is weird. That's weird. So why was she? Well, I don't know if we could say it because they have not pursued us any further. They should. But let's say she did that. Isn't it ironic that this is her close friend that will do something like to take her life? And it makes me wonder, it must be really envy for her to do that. Because all of them will sit there, Max, watching and recording. This is a very much sissy culture where a lot of young youth that become adults, that a lot of these dudes not step in and stop a lot of black men that's fighting. And that gotta stop. That has to stop. Because when women fight, they will fight to the end.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Yeah, good. That's it.
I don't understand something. How the hell are you so wrapped up in somebody else that you jealous of what they're achieving and you ain't doing shit for yourself? I don't understand that. Mm-hmm. So now you want to kill this girl. Now you want to kill this girl because she works hard to achieve something that you don't have? Get the fuck out of here, man.
Yeah. It's crazy. So tell me, you're going to throw away your life because someone, but Max, there are people like that. You get me? Mm-hmm. That will sit there and plot other people. Yeah. And saying you're going to throw your own life because you have not achieved anything in your own life, So you just said, screw it. If I can't, it says to see, I'm going to take everything from you and eat your life. Well, what sense makes that? And personally, I said this to another content creator that I wouldn't be surprised they would use this as a tool or measuring to put a legislation to now globalize the police outside of America. If you're a citizen, if you commit crime, I'll make you be held even higher.
Yo, I'm worried about copycat killers.
Yeah. Well, if you think about Max, Malcolm X's grandson, his life was taken away 10 years ago in Mexico. Remember that?
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know about that.
Oh wow. Well, before I knew you, I knew this back in Blog Talk days. He was supposed to do an interview with two brothers in New York, where he had to cancel it because he was middle some, and that was the last time they were able to have a conversation. That was back in late 2012. The next year, he was doing some things in Mexico with some people that I guess I'm not sure he knows, and that was the last time they saw him. They said it was something in a bar that went off, and they took his life. So it seemed to me, no black person, if they're serious, go ahead.
No. Okay, I'm just saying, wow.
Yeah. No black person should really, if they're thinking of traveling outside the country, they better pick other locations. They better not do Mexico. Mexico's not safe, man. It's not safe at all, man. Oh, you remember the other story? The other story when one woman
in these countries now, after COVID.
I mean, yeah.
What did you say?
No, I say okay.
You said one woman what?
No, so I didn't say nothing. I don't know if it was Dane said something. Somebody else said something. I'm not gonna really knock you.
You started
No, he
saying,
said
I was saying that other black
Dimitri is
folks have
saying
died in
Dimitri
Mexico.
is saying that this is happening in my.
Oh, go ahead. Dimitri. Oh, but Max, that happened in Miami all the time. Every spring break in Miami. Okay.
Yeah, man. Outside America, I'm not sure if any American is safe if you're woman or man, especially black. I mean, I think what America does, if you leave outside its borders, because they don't care about black folks here in this country already, they say you're on your own, and they will not pursue anything else. I remember there was a young man that graduated from college that was in I think some part of Europe, I don't know if it was Russia or some country, and he was flirting with some non-black woman, and his so-called white friends watched him get beat up and got beat up till he died, and there was no prosecution. So.
Yeah.
But the point is that once when you step out this country, they say to them to look at it as good riddance. That's how I look at it. That's how I think they view us.
Yeah,
but
I think also because of the way America treat black citizens, they think they don't treat their black citizens badly, but the rest of the country, the rest of the world do. So they know that, hey, if they kill somebody, black American, they don't have to worry.
Yes. Yeah. Because it's like you're doing us a great favor because we didn't really want them anyway. So if they leave out the borders, that's why I always find it fascinating, Dane. When you hear them talking to stupid shit, they say, go back home, go back to Africa, all that stuff. And really truly they tell you, say, since I can't use you or abuse you, either I get rid of you or you just leave on your own accords. That's the notion. So if you leave outside this country, go somewhere else, and something happens to you, they're saying good riddance. You understand?
Yeah, I understand.
So that's why when people say get justice, is these people don't want to invest time with anybody that's black in this country to seek justice. You have to fight tooth and nail. You got to fight the right politicians, the right people, just to get some answers, to even get something of a charge. You get me?
Right.
And the funny thing about it, because all four of them, I think it's four of them, maybe five of them, that were her so-called friends, that now can sit there and live their lives like it's nothing. Man, listen, if that was the father's only child, you remember the movie that? Let me stop.
Yeah. But he said that.
Well, you get what I'm about. Yeah,
I do. But he said the case is still open. But then they need to get their state to file criminal charges on them because they did kill an a citizen of that state. Since the federal won't step in as a citizen killed in a citizen, okay, let's go with us the state filing that their citizens got killed. And have them press charges on, because as a citizen of the state can't, on the behalf of the citizen that died, file charges. They do it all the time. That's why. That's why. If you drop the charges, it don't get dropped. Oh no! Now you become part of the state. Filing charges against you. One of your citizens. So Chaos, you moving? Are you moving from your apartment?
No. I'm on the road right now. You hear the background? It's loud. I'll mute myself.
Yeah, sounds like you had a truck stop.
Yeah, let me do this.
So yeah, Max is having a little trouble, so it's gonna be a while before he gets back. Yeah, so they was trying to say that the federal is dropping the charges because her her civil rights is not a civil rights case, and they deal more with civil rights when it comes to murder. That's why they drop it. But I thought that this was more along the line of a U.S. citizen being killed by a U.S. citizen on foreign soil. Hmm. And that they basically letting some people get away with murder, assault. So, oh yeah, like Demetrius was saying, so-called friends, whether male or female, off each other every spring break, most definitely. What? That's what you were saying when you said that happens every spring break. I know that there'll be assaults happening, but offing each other. Okay, see, that's a case of you don't know your friends as well as you think you do. Yeah, the person you might consider your friend or your best friend might be more like your frenemy. Yeah, they're your friend enemy, and they don't really like you like that. You know, you know, and they want you hurt, harm, or worse. And unfortunately for Shanquella, she got the worst. They set her up to be beat her up badly enough she gets killed, and then they steal from her twice. When she paid for some of them to be able to make the trip, she paid for the party for the birthday girl, you know, you know, and then they stole from her when she's dead. They stole her credit card. Wait a minute, isn't that identity theft? When you use somebody's credit card without their permission, she couldn't get permission because she's dead. You figure at least the so-called best friend, even though I wonder how best a friend he is, if he let her be beat up on, then uh, left her there to die, and then didn't see about bringing her body back, or at least stay with her body to bring it back to her family. What I'm getting at is it's not gender issue, it's a populist issue. Yeah, but yeah, in the United States, it would not be considered femicide, but apparent Mexico and a lot of these Latin countries have a slightly more extreme definition of femicide. Some countries would not consider femicides because if they think it's Dejanay that killed her, that's women on women. So they don't see how that's femicide because that how could a woman hate another woman? But it but because she's a woman. How can a woman hate another woman because she's a woman? But if it's transgender, like everybody, a bunch of people thought Dejanay was, thought that was what the Dejanay was, then yeah, it would be considered femicide because uh, the world don't recognize transgender as being a woman exclusively, so they would fall under the femicide of a woman on killing another woman. No, you're a trans woman killing a woman. Yes, it could be femicide. You can want to be a woman and still hate her for being a woman because she is born woman, female. You are made woman, female. A lot of people are snakes here in America. Sure, there's a lot of people that are snakes around the world. Because we concentrating on America because we're Americans and we're concentrating on the snakes that's in America. But there are snakes in all over the world and all over the countries. And historically, snakes. So yeah, people are snakes. It's not just exclusively in America. Yeah. So, all right. Ooh, ooh, oh, okay. Oh no, that was not what I wanted to do. Okay. Okay. All right. So yeah. So as I said, her state could still charge them for murder, manslaughter, assault, identity theft, fleeing the scene of a crime. Um, let me see. What is it when you lie to the police, or you I forgot. I know there's a charge for that. Something about hindering hinder, hin- hindering an investigation. By them lying and not telling exactly what happened, they were hindering an investigation. Yeah, yeah. She's just a woman with strong features. Yeah. And probably she knows how to punch better than most women. Because most men are used to women doing the hair pulling and stuff like that. They're not used to the punching, the body slamming, and other stuff. Okay. All right. So okay, let me back this up. All right. So my thing is, okay. We got the Shanquella Robinson going on, but as I said, okay. I don't know. And now it's not safe to go to the wrong house by accident, to drive into the wrong driveway by accident, or to approach the wrong car by accident. Now that's becoming a death sentence. I kept wondering why somebody was saying, "Be careful of pulling up into somebody's driveway and backing out." Um, yeah, for because I didn't know at the time that somebody had got killed. They pulled into the wrong driveway, realized they were at the wrong house, and backed out. And somebody is chasing and shooting them, and killed them, killed at least one of the girls. Uh, this is all too familiar to me because it has happened in my state. Black boy um going to either a party. In this case, he was going to pick up his little brothers from a party, knock at the wrong house. Man shot him through the door, attempted to kill him. um I'm not too surprised about that. That has happened in my state a lot. In fact, it even happened to people that they think look black. Because that happened to a Japanese exchange student. Oh, that happened to a Japanese exchange student in my country. They thought he was a light skinned black person. Yes, we have light skinned black people enough where so that's what they thought he was, and they shot him. He's just excited to go to an American party. They done it to other black kids, black people. Wrong house, knocking at the door. So yeah, and it don't matter if you a child, an adult, a man or a woman. You black, you taking a risk knocking at the stranger's door. That's why some people do not like to break down in the middle of the night, because that means you're gonna have to knock at a strange door. And people tend to be scary. That's why they're so glad for the invention of cell phones. And the worst case that could happen with a cell phone, you get somewhere where there is no signal. and you gotta either stay where you are at all night or till morning, cause or you take a chance knocking at some door. And then there's the. Oh yeah, they plan to do that. They plan to beat up Shanquella. That's right. Oh, and then there's the cheerleaders that walk to the wrong car. Now it happens a lot. You know, I've done it a few times. I actually went so far as to walk all the way to the car and use my key and realize, oh wait a minute, it's not my car. I even remember one time, me and my mom, we were surprised. Her keys worked on these people's car. We walked to the wrong car, used the key, unlocked the door, went in there, start the engine, and I was like, Mom, where did these tennis shoes come from? It's like, what the hell? So we started looking around, and no, this is not our car. Let's hurry up and get out of here before somebody accuses us of stealing. We was worried about somebody accusing us of stealing the car. Nowadays, you got to worry about people trying to kill you. You can't make mistakes anymore. It's a dangerous world, children is growing up into. Well, shooks. This let's just say it's a dangerous world, period. Because, but especially more so for the children because they're more likely to make those mistakes. Walk to the wrong car. Knock at the wrong door. Pull up in the wrong driveway. Sometimes they could survive those mistakes, but this is one time where they either do not survive or they're going to survive being scarred for life. Yeah. And so that person who survived, their outlook on the world is totally changed. They're going to need some therapy. So, nowadays, parents can't send their older child to go pick up their younger children. It used to be able to do that. He's a high school student, 16-year-old. Not unusual. Even though cases where the student walked from their school to their little brother and sister school to go pick them up because they're walking home. Yeah. So, yeah. And as Black folks, okay, when the guy that shot the white girl, now they said, well, how can it be a racial issue? This can't be a racial. It can be a racial issue. This is how. When the white girls got killed, that guy was immediately arrested. He was arrested and he was charged. That day, that moment, they arrested him. They charged him. Black boy, attempted murder. Yeah, it's attempted murder. He shot through the door, unlocked the door, and shot him again. That's murder. Okay. They took the statement. They let him stay home, and then they went to arrest him the next day, and he's released and back in his home. That white man ain't released. That shot the white man that shot the white girls, he ain't released. He's facing court. The white man that shot the black boy, nothing. Okay, white man that shot the okay, he shot the black girl first, and then he shot the white girl. Probably shot her because he thinks she's a traitor. Yeah, almost happened to you. Go to college in rural Texas. Thankfully, somebody helped me on the side of the road. Yeah, you're lucky. Shooks, I was an adult, and I made Well, yeah. Well, I triggered off these people's alarm, but I didn't know about that. I never heard of an alarm in the yard before, but and put a gun to me. He could have ended me. Nobody would have known what happened because I was delivering newspapers, and that area is rural. And he could have got rid of the car, got rid of my body, and they wouldn't have known. They wouldn't have known what happened. His nearest neighbors is miles away, across several fields. Yeah. Ugh. I was lucky. He just wanted me off his property. But these children weren't given any choice. They weren't even threatened, get off my property. They weren't given the normal get off my property, and given a chance to get off the property or step away from my car or get out. So that's going on. So yes, that is race. Is how quickly the arrest and the charges are made. How quickly is there even attempted arrest? Is there attempt of charged in some cases? And I wonder if he hadn't shot the white cheerleader, would that guy be charged too? So yeah, it's the inequality of the arrest and charges and stuff like that. White people, they do get killed, but the charge is quick. It's immediately. The person is arrested. They have to pay bail to get out. Hey, Maurice, how you doing? Okay, but when it's a black person, you got to go through all kind of heck to get them arrested. And if there's a charge, and if it is, it's the lighter charge. If there's a charge, because he's claiming that he was afraid. No, even if that happened in Texas, the fact that the man was behind a locked door, he shot the person, then he unlocked the door to shoot the person again. No, he still would be charged. That would not be self-defense. That would not be defense of property. The person came and knocked at the door. That person didn't try to break in the door or kick in the door or anything. Yeah, you have to prove you're afraid of a 140 50 pound teenager who's 5'8", whose voice probably ain't changed. He looks younger than he is. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. He's okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. So you can prove how a grown man with a gun is afraid of a 140-pound, 5'8", 60-year-old black boy who looks even younger than that. And how afraid is he going to be if he can unlock the door to shoot him a second time? If he was afraid, he should have shot him once. Oh, wait a minute. When did he call 911? Did he call when the boy knocked? Did he call after he shot the boy? If he was afraid, wouldn't he be calling 911 saying that there's this strange black man at my door? And stuff like that. Did he even bother with that? Not like the boy was inside his house breaking in. Yeah. Yeah. Then again, depending on what type of pride some of these Texans have, they would be too prideful to say that they were afraid of a little 140-pound, 5'8" black boy, unless they something like they 5 foot and even smaller. Yeah. So yeah, some of them will probably just take the hit, then admit that, oh, I was afraid of a child who came knocking on my door. But then again, if they can somehow prove that they a scared, frail, old white man, I guess they could. They can't convince me of that. From what I've seen of the picture of just the face alone, I can tell that that this person is bigger than that child. And the man that shot the girls, how he's gonna say he's afraid of young girls who didn't even get out the car. They pull up to the driver. Oh, wait a minute, this is the wrong house, and we're backing out when he shot. Okay, what about the girls walking to the wrong car and they open the door and then realize, oh, this is the wrong car, and he shot. Shoot. If all it did was open the door, they weren't stealing. They opened the door. Most you could do is say they tried the door. You should. The first thing they should have been saying, "Hey, get away from my car." Then, if they were stealing, they would have just ran. You didn't even need to pull out the gun. You could have just said, "Hey, get away from my car." But I bet you all that man saw was a black girl, and another girl was with her. He probably logic himself into thinking, "Oh, she's a light-skinned black girl." But okay, so that's going on. Okay, so there's the there's the incident with Chicago, the teenagers in Chicago when congregate and they were cutting up. As far as I know, they weren't stealing anything, they weren't breaking anything. They seemed to be climbing things, uh, loitering, not moving along, blocking sidewalk traffic, street traffic, just being, just a nuisance. And some people says the children should be arrested for causing a problem. And some people says the parents should be arrested. Some people say it's the city fault because there's no programs for these kids to do things, to channel their energies into other things. Um, there's no outlet for their energy. There's no safe place for them to be or hang out or just to be kids, play, do things. There's no art programs in the schools no more. um there's no music programs in the schools no more. Some of the schools are losing. Unless you're an athlete, there's no physical education. No, if you're not in football, basketball, baseball, track. Some of the schools have soccer, some of them have swim. I'm saying the ones we have which is football, basketball, baseball, and track. They did have like and tennis. I forgot about tennis. There is some volleyball and some soccer, but it's more, to me it sounds more like it's recreational, um, more than a league type that that you would get with football and baseball and basketball. But it's slowly coming around. But school is starting to end. At least for my end of the country, school is starting to end. They're going through testing. It could be a lot of energy burnt up because, okay, testing time creates stress in students and anxiety and nerves. And some of them, they need to do stuff to deal the way to deal with the anxiety. Some of them, they get sick, they throw up, they have sore stomachs, they have bouts of diarrhea. Some of them, they can't keep still. They just need to move, 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 do something. They can't focus. Um, some of them, uh, they it takes off into anger, so they more likely to get in a fight. They fighting over things they wasn't even thinking about at the beginning of the year. It don't make any sense. They break up with each other, and there's another whole nother level with that. Um, yeah, so you get this testing anxiety energy thing going on now, and also it's a sign that the school year is finna end. And and a lot of the football, basketball, and all that, that's all starting to die down. So you got a lot of students that suddenly don't have a lot of energy to burn and nothing for it to focus on. No, no, no. Okay. Yeah. Hey, Thunder. Well, we had moved on. We was on Shanquella, and we moved to the kids that got shot for well, being knocking at the wrong house, pulling up into the wrong driveway, and opening door of the wrong car. Right now I'm on the Chicago students, uh I don't know what to call it. I don't consider it a riot because it's more like they loitering and not listening to authority. So I'm talking a little bit about Chicago. And I think some of it is a combination of things. A lot of people are complaining about there's no programs, there's no activities, program, and then a lot of schools, a lot of their activity programs is being cut out and stuff like that. Because there's no art programs anymore. There's no music programs anymore. I'm trying to think of and some of these yeah, and some of these sports activity are tapering off. And then you add testing time. There's also coming testing time, so there's a lot of anxiety and stress over tests. And some of this takes in the form of they need to move, they need to do something, get their mind off the stress. Sometimes it used to be parties and dances, um, and even though prom is coming up and there's been some prom and stuff like that, yeah, some schools are still having their prom about to happen. Um, that's still a lot of schools. That's mainly seniors and juniors, but you got freshmen and sophomores plus seniors and juniors, because not every senior and junior goes to the prom. And then there's the test. Uh, yeah, there's an anxiety from that, and the need to take their mind off of that. You should move to Khadijah Brown's situation too. Okay, okay, wait a minute. What's the Khadijah Brown situation? Um, mhm. Okay, the boys and girls club, Thunder. Well, dang it, Thunder, you right there in Appaloosa. You know the Boys and Girls Club doesn't have enough volunteers. Um, and after school boxing, oh, that been taken down. I don't know any school that any place that still have the after school boxing. But if you know, but that's in your area. There's other places where it's not. I don't know what's going on with Chicago. I don't know their programs and their schools as well. But the Boys and Girls Club is kind of tapered off because they don't have enough volunteers. They don't have enough help with the kids. So they got the facility. They just don't have the people to work and mentor the kids. So you got kids that's have nowhere to go after school except home. And if their parents are working, that's time on their hands to do stuff, to get into stuff. There was always things and places to go to keep us out of trouble back then. Yeah, that's back then. But the now? Some of the churches are trying to, as much as they can. Some of the churches have tutoring, but there's also a lot of kids and parents that don't go to church or they don't belong to nobody's church. Mm-hmm. And a lot of that has tapered down too, even among the churches. I'm still trying to find out about the Bible Olympics. Mm-hmm. Okay. The Khadijah Brown situation is the one where the wife shot her husband in front of the kids on Facebook. Oh yeah, I heard about it. I didn't get a chance to read up on it. So I can't really speak up on it, but hey, if you're willing to come up, I'll drop the link and you can tell about what the deal is with that and what your thoughts on it. Demetrius, but I think that is bad and that's horrible, and it you know what, it goes to what Max has been saying. What the men do, the women eventually follow and do as they do, because there's been quite a few men who have shot their woman um um on alive. Yeah. So now we got this woman who shot her husband in front of their kids in the Facebook Live. So okay, well, okay. Well, getting back to the okay. Well, getting back to the Chicago kids, I'm thinking that is also happening. That with testing and them not having anything to do, these Chicago kids decide to create their own safe place, to create their own party, to create something for them to do. And of course, if you don't steer them, it's gonna lead to them cutting up, acting silly, pulling pranks. And of course, since you're not their parent, any police, it, and they had a whole year of two of seeing that protest, and as long as they not breaking into stores and stuff like that, they can say they protesting. What they protesting, I do not know, but them kids are smart enough to make up stuff on the spot. Or they could claim they're a flash mob, although that hadn't been done in a while. Okay. So yeah. So yeah. So and I was just talking to one of kids, and so I know I know him from when he was in junior high school, and he's there because his teacher was yelling at him, so he yelled back at the teacher and got into a verbal. He said it wasn't an argument. He said he just verbally disagreed with the teacher yelling at him. And and I know I was going about it the wrong way. I said, but he's the authority figure. I said, but he was wrong. He was teaching wrong. He yelled at me. I didn't yell at him. I said, did you, and he'll accept his parents' authority, but he's not going to accept a teacher authority, especially once the teacher step over a line. And yelling at him for something like getting a drink, getting a soda when he's supposed to be going to the restroom is not a reason for him to be yelled at. I say I yell at you. I yell at you. You don't be offended by that. He said, but he said, yeah, but you wouldn't yell at me over me getting a soda. You just like give it here. Well, I said, well, yeah, it's true. I probably would have. And then he said, you probably wouldn't yell at me about getting a soda. I said, no, but I would push it by saying you can't drink that in the classroom. You have to wait after class or drink it outside. But but I'm subbing at his school. I'm not his permanent teacher. Yeah. Yeah. Which reminds me, we're having a serious teacher shortage, and every school year we seem to lose a few teachers. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we seem to lose a few. We seem to lose a few teachers. Uh, I've been subbing off and on at this middle school. Their teacher had quit. Don't know why. Just said that she had enough. Yeah, they if they don't stop barking over either some more money or stop playing uh, um, politics with the school system, they're gonna lose more teachers, and it's gonna be to the point where there's not gonna be enough teachers to teach the schools, and then it's gonna be back like the pandemic, digital learning, in order to teach the students. Some of the students could do fine with that. They do good, and there's others that won't. The parents are going to go crazy because they need to figure out how they're going to do things. Because a lot of the families, they need two-parent incomes. Um, and so both parents are working. And not to mention, some of them not feeling up to the task of teaching their kids. They either don't have the patience for it, or it's something outside of their school of learning because they put that Common Core nonsense for those of us in Louisiana. Don't know who big idea was it to vote that in, but okay, Demetrius, make sure that's you and not somebody pretending to be you. Demetrius, you can unmute yourself.
Can you not hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Dimitri, I can hear you. Go ahead, say something.
Is my connection acting up?
No, your connection is fine.
All right, cool. Yeah, it's me. It's Dimitri. So yeah, about the situation that you're talking about, I think this is an adult issue. People not wanting to find the time to start programs for youth and not being incentivized to usher their youth into these programs that are already there, even though they're sparsely there. That's a major problem, and we see the consequences of not keeping people occupied within a crime-ridden area, a poverty-stricken area.
Mm-hmm.
People tend to, I don't know if you've heard of Maslow's hierarchy of needs, but when food, when shelter, when clothing, when water, when those base needs are met, naturally people will start to achieve greatness, achieve certain feats in life. And because safety is not addressed here and shelter is not necessarily addressed, because you can bet some of these kids are homeless. Guess what happens? Degeneracy.
Mm-hmm.
So what I don't know what you think should happen, but I think that after school programs should be mandatory. I really do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. 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 Yeah, I think so too. But even so, the kids, they did not shoot up the place. Unless somebody knows something differently, they didn't vandalize the place. They just was hanging out pretty much on a busy area. So they were like kind of blocking off the sidewalk, blocking off the streets. They were cutting up. They were climbing on buildings. They were
And that's a
daring each
problem
other
though.
to do stuff.
They're bored.
Hmm.
Clearly, they're bored. These are signs of boredom.
Hmm. Yeah,
So I mean,
and
you
then
just
when you
have
get
to
and
put
you
an
know that's
activity
bad
in.
when you got a whole city full of kids doing this. So that meant the boredom is not just in one particular area, or one particular student, or one particular school of students. This looked like there might have been every school in the city of kids just hanging out.
Yeah, yeah. That the kids are bored. They don't have nothing to do, and they're in a poverty-stricken, crime-stricken area, and so they're going to try to make their presence known and be seen, because that's what most people tend to do in this era. They try to be seen, they try to get attention. So it's kind of a cry for help, but it's just a matter of whether the men and women in the area actually want to address it.
Well, as a cry for help, it might actually work. It might, because now they are getting the attention of people that okay, there's things that need to be done. This is a sign, as you say, of boredom. That there's nothing for these kids to do, nothing to channel that energy, and it's because it's happening now. School is almost ending. Can you imagine what's going to be like once summer officially hit and there's no school? So they better. They got maybe a month, depending on what area, or two, to have something done. To keep these kids occupied. Program. Hire a bunch of them up and start having them clean the schools, clean around the city. Um, do
Yeah, clean the
some of the
block,
city
clean
work.
the block.
Uh huh.
Like, yeah, like pick up litter, take pride in your community.
Mhm.
Because I know, like, when I was in Boy Scouts, we had to do that.
Mhm. Mhm.
So,
And 4-H for me, yeah. Us.
so yeah,
Mhm.
like if we had community centered programs around there, and that it made that mandatory for an after school activity, um, then hey, I think we'd actually see a change. But like I said, it's in a crime stricken area too, so something's gonna
Mm.
have to be done about the people causing a ruckus too. But hey, this is just an idea that I'm throwing out. I've been thinking about certain ideas to like for Black people to take back their community or take the reins of their destiny. And this is one of the ways you can do it. But at the same time, if you're going to be having them do community center activities, you have to screen the adults that attend. You have to deal with the people causing a ruckus.
Yeah.
And you have to also know what you're talking about if you're going to do a education centered activity, like a skill based activity where you build the kids skill base. So this is, I'm looking at the adults funny right now.
Yeah. Yeah, because I was looking at somebody and they said, well, who deserved the whipping here? The child or the adults in the community? Because this is a community problem. It's not just, it's their parents. Their parents deserve to be punished. No, 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 no. This is broader than just the parent. It's the community uh, as a whole.
Yeah, this is people who have kids and even the ones who don't. This is
Mm-hmm.
all their fault.
Yeah.
Because just because you choose not to have kids doesn't mean you don't have a duty
Mm-hmm.
to your community. And
Yeah.
I know that people hate that, but understand, if you want to buy into those that f them kids culture, understand the other side of that is indifference towards you as well. So we already know that a lot of Americans, before we factor in race, can't even afford $1,000 emergency or even a $400 emergency.
Yeah.
So if you want to buy into F them kids culture, which is basically indifference culture, then those programs that like unemployment that are there to assist you shouldn't be there to assist you. Um,
Mm-hmm.
people people have to learn how to give a F, and
Yeah.
it's really an exercise in empathy. And I I can say that therapy might help, but really people need to get their needs addressed, and in that area specifically, safety is paramount before you
Mm-hmm.
even start getting the kids out
Yeah.
doing activities.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it's becoming divided. You gotta watch it because everybody seems to be looking at this as a black community problem. But I saw a whole bunch of white kids in there with these black kids, so that tells me it ain't no black community problem. It's
Yeah, no,
the
it's not a black
whole
problem. It's a
community problem.
culture. It's a culture
Mm-hmm.
issue. It's a culture
Yeah.
issue.
Mm-hmm.
It's an entire community culture issue.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what?
And
White kids who are raised in poverty end up just like, well, that's kind of controversial, but they tend to end up in the same situations as black people. Ever
mm-hmm.
heard of trailer park trash? Yeah, that's
Yes.
exactly what that is.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not race issue. It's a community, culture, economic issue too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And unfortunately, I'm seeing it in other places too. I bet you if we was able to, it's just that Chicago, since it's had such a reputation, whatever happens there becomes national news. But I bet you if you was to look at all the news outlet all over the world, you'll see where they have an issue with what to do with the kids. They need programs for the kids. They need activities for the kids
Nutrition for
because.
the kids.
Mhm.
Obesity is a big thing here, and white people lead that. So it's a culture issue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, cause in my community, what Thunder, I know where Thunder lives. So I used to live there, and he was talking about the Boys and the Girls Club. Boys and Club is barely functioning. They don't have enough people to work with the kids, enough adults. They have the kids, they have the facility, but there's not enough mentors. You can't have a program with just one or two members. The most they doing is tutoring, and then that's on certain days of the week. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I don't know what happened to the boxing, but that was usually for the young men, those that are in high school and maybe junior high. And that was small as far as I knew. I didn't know enough about it, but from what I understand, it was a small group. Uh, um, Even with the boxing, you know, it was just outlet, teach them how to box, redirect some of that aggression and energy. Um,
These kids ain't in sports. I just thought about that. They ain't got no balls at that school. They ain't got a soccer ball, a basketball.
yeah, at the school, but once the school is over with, what next? That's why I
Well,
said,
that's what I'm saying about the mandatory after school activity. Because at the high school that I attended, it was mandatory.
mhm, yeah. Um, well, let me see. Yeah, so the high schools, they got all kind of activity. They even had some that the kids made up, like flag football, girls and mixed flag football. I was like, what?
We had co-ed soccer. Like the
Uh-huh.
girls actually played with us, and
Hmm.
we played against
Yeah.
other schools that were co-ed. So
Hmm. And then there's the volleyball, the volleyball, and then as part of after school, after the boys and the girls finish their training, their practice, they would have a mixed volleyball game, and yeah, and they
yep,
were
the guy.
they were trying to they was trying to
Hmm.
arrange to have like it for like a Saturday or Sunday or during the they was trying to make see if they can have it for the summer, but there's like football camp, band camp, basketball, uh there's track. Some of the track activities still be going on sometimes. Some of the baseball activities still be going on until the end of May and stuff like that. And they still got to do their training and all that other stuff over the summer, so they don't lose uh, what they had. But for the majority, that's maybe because especially since some athletes they do some of the athletes do all three or at least two. All of them got to do track. No matter what sport they in, they all got to do track. Um,
Shackles. Shackles. I didn't like track. I was good at it though.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And then,
But
and
yeah,
then,
when you acculturate the children properly,
but
like
even
they'll end up checking each other, and that's exactly what happened at my school when somebody was
yeah, but I wish they wouldn't
getting.
check each other so aggressively. I'd be busting at them. Hey, hey, not in the class. Say that for PE. They laugh. They be laughing. Say I don't have them for PE. I said, well, save it for when you're not in my class. But Miss Frank, you're a sub. This is not your class. It is for today.
Like the upperclassmen would be checking the younger people,
I know. I
because
did it.
we'd have mandatory worship, and then the young people want to start
Oh,
talking during prayer, and the seniors and
oh,
the juniors, we tell them shush.
oh, okay. Oh, you had Catholic school?
Yeah.
Hmm. Oh, it was public school for us. So yeah, yeah, they did, but they didn't like it when we did it. Well, except for those in sports, I heard from the boys a lot of other stuff I didn't hear as a girl. But I remember when, um, for the longest time while I was in school, and before that, it was 10th through the 12th grade. Then my senior year, they had the ninth graders in. And I was like, oh no. And then that was the same year that they decided to cut down on their maintenance people. So in our orientation, they said that we need to work to keep our class clean and make sure that and we see any of our classmates, especially the lower classmen, got on us upperclassmen. You see any of the lowerclassmen messing up, make sure you have them clean up behind themselves and stuff like that. Well, I was fine while I was able to have access to the library and go to the library, and I disappeared for lunchtime to the library because most of the time I didn't to deal with lower classmen until lunchtime. and they banned me out of the library. I was like, I got essays to write. I got colleges I got to apply to and stuff like that. No, you can do it in the classroom, but you can't go to the classroom during lunch. At least they couldn't when I was there. And I saw some freshmen throwing ice at each other after they got their soda. At the time we didn't have bottles of soda; we just had cups of soda. And I was already irking. They were working my nerves. So I said, pick that ice up before somebody slip on it. We got waxed floors. It don't take much water for somebody to go sliding across the floor or fall on their behinds if they're lucky.
Did y'all have senior prank day?
No, we had senior, what's it called, skip day, where
Oh,
we
yeah.
just didn't.
Skip day was cool.
Yeah, yeah. Those of us that had vehicles would go to Cricket Creek. Those of us that didn't have vehicles, we stayed home. And I didn't go to my skip day. I just didn't go to school. I said, no, if I go to school on senior skip day, I'm going to be killing some freshmen.
Nah, because the freshmen don't know how to
very
act. They ain't got no chill.
I was a very irritable senior. My mom didn't actually really force it. She was like, don't you think you should go to school? Because the parents are not supposed to know. Even though how did not know, they did it themselves. But they're not supposed to know. They know there's a skip day. They just never know when the skip day is. They know there's going to be a senior skip day. They know exactly where we're going to be for senior skip day because it's been traditional. They just don't know when the skip day is going to happen. Because it's never the same day. Each year is a different skip day. And my mom's like, why you not getting ready for school? Not going to school. Why not? I'm not going to school. They said, I think you need to go to school. If I go to school, I'm going to be in jail because I'm going to murder one of them ninth graders. And I'm definitely, they said, nah, you're not going to murder. I said, hey, you're going to see me in jail. Because the more irksome ninth graders was the little white boys. Especially those that were
them white boys got
their
no
parents
chill.
were well off, and they came from the private school. That was also the same year the private school went up on their tuition, and a whole bunch of parents sent their kids to public school. And they were enabled. A lot of stuff they could get away with over at their school, they could not get away with in our school. And then the principal made a mistake and made us upperclassmen responsible for the underclassmen to behave. And I had a bunch of ninth graders cutting up. And I said, pick up that ice. They said, we're not going to pick it up. Pick up that ice. And it's like, make me. Oh, okay. And I grabbed them and I had them bent over to pick up the ice. I had a hand behind each one hand behind one behind, and I bent them over. You're gonna pick up that ice, or you're gonna be permanently bent down like that. And they were howling and they were screaming, I can't breathe, I can't breathe. One, I'm not choking you. Two, if you can say you can scream you can't breathe, you're breathing. I felt sorry for our vice principal. He came over. We had a soft-spoken vice principal. What they made him vice principal for? And he's going, Miss Frank, you can't do that. You're hurting him. I'm not hurting him. You hear him screaming? When they stop screaming, then you have something to worry about. He said, but you can't do that. Hey, and this is when we memorized our handbook. And I had mine in my back pocket. I was quick to pull it out. And it's like, no. According to orientation, the principal and the letter, upperclassmen are responsible for underclassmen cleaning up behind themselves. They throwing ice all over here, and it's melting, and somebody's gonna slip and fall. And they said that's what maintenance about. No, we shoot short-handed with maintenance. You know, they can't be cleaning up behind the mess and then doing the concession and then repairing the school and stuff like that. We don't have enough of them. They can clean it up. It's the maintenance man was laughing. The one of them went to go get the mop, and I was like, okay, one of you knuckleheads grab the mop. I'm not letting you go. Let you unbend until you get rid of the mop. And the maintenance man, I can get it. You got too much to do, Mister. Because I've been in detention enough times. Back in my day, detention, you was cleaning up the school. I cleaned up the bathroom, wiped the walls, cleaned the principal office out. Mop the floors, and then the funny part is for my summer, I had a summer job during the summer work program, and guess what I did? I cleaned the school.
Oh,
So
you
it was
must have
like
loved that
detention
school
for
then.
me for the summertime. It was like extended detention for me. So yeah, so I was like, no, you got a long list of maintenance. And I was listing out all the stuff he had to repair and stuff like that. He forgot. He used to supervise me for detention, so he knew I knew all the stuff he had to do. Because it's some of the same things that always need to be repaired. And I'm always keep on the up and up on what work needs to be done. So in case I get detention, because they banned me from cleaning the bathrooms.
Oh,
Because
why?
I went through a month supply of bleach because I had
Oh,
so much
wow.
detention, and they see me cleaning the bathrooms, and I don't want to smell nothing but bleach. And they said, no, you gotta do something else for detention. And it's like, yeah. He came. He said, did she clean the bath? Oh yeah, she blinded a student. Huh? Did you Did you? I said, no. I was mopping the bathroom. I told him he has to go to the other bathroom or wait because I just got through mopping in there. Okay, and so he went in there and he got blinded. You did him what? I didn't do nothing. I went, grabbed my mop bucket, and went to the next bathroom. It said she
So,
had so much
so that's
bleach
how
in
you
there.
got banned from the bathroom.
Yeah, that's when I started paying attention to how much bleach I was using because the fumes between cleaning the toilets, cleaning the drains, cleaning the sinks, the urinal, I was bleaching everything. I was bleaching the walls. Not just in the stalls. I was bleach mopping the walls because they have tile walls from ceiling to
Yeah,
floor.
yeah.
Yeah, so I would just get a fresh mop head and mop the wall in the bleaching water. In fact, that'd be the first thing I mop before I even mop the floor. In fact, I always ended up with extra mop heads because I wanted a fresh mop and water when I moved on to the next bathroom because I was bleaching the wall. So my mop water is about half bleach, half hot water. Yeah, because the janitor sink had have hot water, and I mean it's coming straight from the hot water tank, so it was like hot. So you know what happens when you hit hot water with bleach? Those
Yeah, it starts
fumes.
evaporating and goes into the air.
Yeah, and it was stinging the person eye. The boy didn't even make it to the urinal, and it's like right there. You go through the second set of doors, make a left, and there are the urinals. He couldn't even see to get to the urinals. And the janitor, he had to cover his nose and his mouth to go fish the boy out of there. And then he's like, well, how much bleach are you using? And he saw me when I was fixing my fresh mop. He said, wait a minute, is that another? A mop, a fresh bucket of water. Yeah, I'm gonna go scrub the walls in the next bathroom. I can't use this pissy water.
Hey, that's facts.
So he started paying attention to how much bleach I'm using. If I'm using this much bleach, I'm using half a gallon of bleach in every uh, bucket of water, and I keep changing my bucket of water every time I go to another bathroom. 4
Well, that's what you're
bathrooms.
supposed to do, though.
But I was using half a bottle of bleach,
Oh yeah, no, you ain't supposed to do that.
a gallon bottle of bleach. That was too much. As far he said, you just need a cup of bleach. No, that ain't gonna kill the urine smell, especially in the boys' bathroom. So he started, and then he had me for the whole week, and he noticed my fourth day on the job. That's when he noticed, hey, how much bleach I was using. So so I have to report to the assistant principal, and he reports that I did a good job or not. Did I actually clean the bathroom? Well, that fourth day he had to make a complaint because one of the boys got blinded and couldn't find his way out of the bathroom. Said, hey, I warned him. I told him to go use the other bathroom. All you had to do was run down to the other end of the hall. I already did that one. It should have dissipated by that time.
So, oh wow. So did you get in trouble for that?
Nope. It was their own fault because
It is their fault, though. It is.
the janitor was supposed to monitor. But once he showed me where the stuff was and how to fix the hot water, he figured I'm a girl, I'm a woman, I know how to mop, which I do. But after doing a summer program, I did a summer program before that too. I know in the boys' bathroom, you need a lot more bleach. But I was dealing with a lot. Well, no shoes. It's worse in the elementary bathrooms because they still learning, or they still learning how to aim. And then some of them think it's funny to pee the wall, to target bugs, lizards. Oh, hey, Charlene. Yeah, you're welcome. Good to see you.
Um. So yeah, did you ever go back and see what it was like, or is the school
Well,
gone?
yeah. Guess what? I served at my old high school. Yeah, they
Yeah,
made
because
some
I go back every now and again, and I actually like I hug my old teachers, and be like, thank you for setting
Oh,
me up for life.
well, a lot of my old teachers passed away. The last one he just the my coach. Well, he's a coach, but he taught me algebra. He was my algebra teacher. He passed away earlier. Uh, well, I not this year. Technically, it was last year, but yeah, he passed away. A lot of my teachers passed away. Yeah, yeah. Wait a minute. Let me think. All my high school teachers. Let's see. I'm trying to think. Oh, they. Oh, wait a minute. A few of them have retired. My geometry teacher, she has retired. Um, yeah, a lot of teachers. Um, just let me see. So far, my fifth grade teacher, my fourth and seventh grade teacher. Wait. Because I had a teacher, he taught me in elementary school, then he taught me in middle school, then he taught me in junior high. I was like, but he's still around. My junior high teacher's still around. My 10th grade teacher's still around. They brothers. But my fourth grade teacher has passed away. I don't know. my third grade teacher, he been passed away. This is my first gay teacher that I didn't know about. I didn't find out he was gay until I was in 5th grade.
Well,
Because
to be honest, you shouldn't have known.
nobody knew, but somebody outed him and stuff like that when I was in 5th grade. And then with the AIDS epidemic, you gotta understand, AIDS had just came out about this time. AIDS is epidemic, and gays were looked at as strange alone. But when you add AIDS on top of that, shoot, people were so paranoid in my time. Everybody that was gay had AIDS, whether they had AIDS or not. If they switched in their walk, they were gay and had AIDS. If they were flamboyant, they were gay. If they were any kind of suspect of being down low or gayish, they were gay and they had AIDS. I know, I know a man this day, because they weren't for certain he was gay. They suspected he was, and because A would had somebody so fear because they didn't know anything about it at the time. That the cup she let him use to drink, she threw it away. The towel she let him use, she burnt it. My grandmother did that.
Oh my God. So the burning it is excessive.
She didn't want to exclude him, but she was like real leery, you know.
I mean,
Okay.
Oh, that's extra.
I'm gonna tell you in a minute. I'm gonna tell you in a minute. Okay.
All right.
Not right now. Not right now. No. It's just that you need to arrange. They just need you to arrange the pay it off. Uh-huh. Okay. I will. Okay.
All
Sorry,
right.
family.
You good, Dame, but I think this is a perfect time to start
Yeah.
segueing into that Khadijah Brown situation that I
Oh
was
yeah,
telling you
yeah.
about.
Because I usually try to wrap up about 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So tell
it
me
ain't
what.
gonna take long. It ain't gonna take long. So
Okay.
basically, this lady, you can find the footage on YouTube. Although it's a black screen, the it opens up with Khadijah Brown and her mother, talking crap about her husband and about how he wasn't cooking for the kids, and I guess it was time for him to go to work or something, and so he was leaving to go to work, and she just kept like pushing him and hitting him, and he kept saying, "Don't hit me." And the lady, I guess she was so upset with him about cause she posted some like that he might be bisexual or something, and I guess she was suspicious of that or something, because like 5 days before it happened, like the dude upgraded her ring, and they was all dancing together as a family, like in the picture frame on Facebook, and I was like, all right, I don't know what happened, I don't know if it's true, but one thing's for certain, something has been brewing for a long time, because it's just things don't necessarily just jump from 0 to 100 all the time. And okay, so I guess the buildup in this situation was the grandma and the mother talking crap about the guy, and the woman kept pushing him, and he said, "Listen, if you don't stop pushing me, I'll call the police." And I guess as he was walking out the door, she shot him, and then she said, "I don't want to go to jail." And the kids saw it, and they start screaming and crying. You can hear it right here on YouTube. And so I guess she realized what she did, and now she crying because she gonna go to jail. And I guess she didn't really mean it, but where I come from in Texas, if you pull a trigger, it happened in Mississippi, but I think Mississippi is similar. But if you pull a trigger, that's a premeditated action here. So
Yeah.
I don't know all the inner workings of what happened like a month before, 2 months before, but they said there had been a history of DV, but she got off on a second-degree murder charge, which honestly it should have been first degree because she said murder scene in the video.
Okay.
But hey.
Yeah, my thinking is, okay, why she had a gun? She was in the house with her kids, her mother, her husband. Why would she have a gun out?
Because she mad at him. You're thinking as a rational person. This is an irrational person. That's what I have had to learn since I became an adult. Not everybody's rational. A lot of people out here are grown kids. Like they're immature, but they're adults.
Okay, because I can see why it would be considered pre-med, because
she said I'm finna kill you too in the video. So I mean,
yeah,
that's pre-med.
Did they keep the gun in a drawer somewhere, and she got mad and she ran to the drawer and shot him? Or did he walking out and she just up and shoot him? That means she had the gun on her.
I think that she went to get the gun, because if she had the gun, the grandmother, the mother-in-law, would have stopped her daughter. But at the same time, the mother-in-law was instigating. The grandma was instigating, saying, "Hey, you ain't about nothing. You ain't gonna do nothing." Nothing's finna escalate. And I mean, hey,
unless because
that's why I showed my father and my mother this, and they said, "Hey, keep family out your marriage. Keep family out your marriage."
Yeah, they'll still instigate. Cause like my aunt and my mom. Okay, my grandfather fooled around on my grandmother, my biological. I was raised with my grandfather's second wife, so she's my grandmother. But my biological, okay, my grandfather fooled around and stuff like that. Okay, so you figure the person that would sympathize would be her mother, you know, would sympathize with her daughter, that her man is cheating on her. And no, her mother is messing with her about hey, uh how you feel about your husband spending his money all on his women. So um that's my great grandmother needling my grandmother, and my grandmother, she's gotten used to it. She don't like it. She's done things like lock him out of the house uh in the wintertime, so he had to sleep in the car. And back in them days, those cars weren't having heaters like that, because this is like let me see, for 50s or so, because 50s or 60s. Yeah, around the 50s. So yeah. But my grandmother comeback was to her, well, if they willing to sleep and be with him with the little money I let him have, then they welcome to him. That was her comeback to that.
Well, all right. So okay, so a lot of people, from what I've seen, right, they're saying that she said all those accusations because he had been wanting to leave her, and this, I guess, this time he wasn't planning on coming back or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and I guess her mind started racing like he's leaving me with these kids or something, and so that's probably why she shot him. But
So,
listen, even
mhm.
if he was cheating, I don't think death warrants that. I do think
Yeah.
that cheating while in a marriage should be a crime,
Mhm.
but I don't think it should like warrant death. And the only reason I say that cheating while in a marriage should be a crime is because you want to discourage a culture of dishonesty.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um,
So,
Other than that, she traumatized those kids.
yeah. And
I'm
now,
one of the people who say that the mother-in-law should have been locked up too, but that's only because she was instigating. If she would have stayed out of it, then that's a
uh,
different ordeal.
yeah.
But she was egging it on when she saw the situation was escalating. So
Mhm. Mhm.
you're not supposed to do that. Like, even I remember cops came to my high school and they said, if they catch you, like, if it ever comes back to you that you were the one filming a fight video or anything of that kind and you were instigating, you're liable to get charged too because
Mhm.
you're an instigator. That's how it works here in Texas. So
Yeah, it kind of works in Louisiana, but it's like with kids, they kind of go easy on it. Um, Okay, now I think it depends on if it's just a fist fight, but if it gets to the point where somebody got seriously hurt or a weapon was used, then it changes it changes if you instigated that or when a weapon is it got involved in it. Yeah, you you instigated it and a weapon got involved in it. Yeah, you're going to jail. But
I
I've
mean, the
seen.
kids were gonna get traumatized anyway if he called the cops before, because I can imagine, like, for a child, like, seeing the father or the mother call the police on their spouse
Yeah,
and
but
they
it's
see it.
nothing. That yeah, that is kind of traumatized. But that's nothing compared to seeing your mother shoot your father and your father die in front of your eyes. That's a trauma of a whole nother level.
I hear you, but what I'm saying is they were gonna get traumatized either way,
Hmm.
because a lot of people were saying, whether they were male or female, a lot of people were actually saying if he would have hit her, then she would have shot him, and
Hmm.
she would have got away with it. But a lot of other people were saying, like, if he hit her hard enough and he knocked her out, then he might have gotten away. But I think it's one of those situations where hindsight is 2020. I don't think he was expecting to get shot. Otherwise, he would have been
Yeah,
running.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, cause yeah, so
And
it makes me
the
wonder.
thing about it is, with the
Hmm.
hitting him,
Hmm.
is she was so comfortable doing it,
Hmm.
and that was concerning to me, because that means those kids saw their mother hit their father continuously
Yeah,
before.
yeah,
So
but okay. Weirdly enough, you will see um uh some women hit men. Um, depending on the situation, most of the time is when they're upset or they mad at him, and it's more like a shoving hit or a slap on the shoulder. Never a straight out punch, mainly because she would hurt herself, and two, and and I think that's a it's considered a whole nother step. But men are taught to take it, or if they used to fighting, they know the women punches or hits are nothing compared to another man. So it don't feel the way it don't feel like she's hitting him. I seen it in the high school level. Guy, he's a football player, and he was teasing the girl, and she had enough of him, and she punched him. She didn't punch him in the face because we're not really taught to punch men in the face, but she punched him hard enough in the shoulders where I thought he should have felt it. And I was like, "Hey, you can't be hitting on the boys. You know, I know you're mad at him, but keep your hands off him. You wouldn't like if his hands was on you and stuff like that." And he said, "Oh, I didn't even really feel it." He said, "Compared to the hits he take in football, it don't feel like nothing." He didn't even know she had hit him.
I understand,
Yeah.
and
But
damn, you gotta understand that we from two different time periods. I'm a
mhm,
Gen Z. I'm a Gen Z. I was born in 2000.
mhm.
Okay, so we are two different time periods. What matters nowadays is her comfortability hitting him.
Yeah, yeah,
That's a huge issue
yeah.
because
Let's take it to.
to me, you shouldn't even feel comfortable raising your voice at your spouse. To me, so
Uh,
you feeling comfortable enough to hit your spouse, and I'm not talking about playful. Like playful is different,
mhm,
but if like with the intent of injuring them,
uh-huh,
that's problematic to me.
mhm,
Whether it hurts or not, it doesn't matter.
mhm.
The problem is you feel comfortable doing it. So I don't even know how he felt comfortable like sleeping next to a person like that.
Okay. And it could be different men, uh, different women. If she's comfortable hitting on men like that, that means she comes from an environment where she's comfortable hitting men like that, and either they don't see it the same way. They either that's normal to them, and so they don't see anything unusual about it, or they don't take the hits of a woman as personal as if they've been hit by a man. It's just her being a woman.
I agree.
I, and
it's not
so
a
the fact
yeah.
that means that he don't really know her. The fact that he also didn't run when she threatened to kill him. See, he don't know his wife as well as he should have, because okay, sometimes you make a mistake. Like my mom and my almost stepdad, she was engaged with this man, and the house had gotten broken into, and the rent money got stolen, and she was upset, and I wouldn't say she was hysterical. She was just crying, and she was upset. He slapped her because he thought she was hysterical.
Wait, like he thought she was like losing her mind?
Um, there are men that when women are hysterical, they believe that you slap the woman and it'll shock her out of his hysteria. She was not that woman. And she was like, "Oh, you did not." And she went into the house. He took off running. He knew why. My mom could put a pistol together in no time. Because I was a kid, I was a little kid, she kept her pistol dismantled apart, and she could put it together in a few seconds. I knew it was dismantled in the house because I'm a diggy nosy kid. I dig into everything. And she put it together. He got about, I say, half a block away, and she shot him and managed to get him in the butt. We thought she grazed him. No, it turned out she shot him in the butt, but he kept on running. He was just engaged with my mom. We lived with her for about a year. They got engaged and they started living together before they got married. He knew my mom well enough. When my mom went in the house and said, "No, you didn't," he knew to run. He didn't try to reason with her. He didn't try to walk away. He ran. This man been married to this woman how long? And when she said, "I'm gonna kill you, I'm gonna shoot you," and he walked away and he didn't run. He didn't
That's
know
what
to
I'm
run.
saying. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'd be disagreeing with Max when he said, like, whenever a woman says something to you, it should roll off your sleeve. No, when a woman says something to you, believe them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it
Believe
also
them.
says how well you know your woman. Some women said, I'm gonna kill you or I'm gonna shoot you," and they don't mean it. They never gonna do it unless you do something like real serious, like try to hurt them or hit them. Um, but some women, they mean it, and in a fit of temper, they will do it. And there's some women they will never, no matter how angry they got. They got their
See,
life or
I
their
don't
children's life
know
got to
what
be in danger before they shoot.
I don't know what he should have done though. I really,
He should have
I
ran.
know I know he should have ran, but like when she started putting his hands on, like her hands on him, like I feel like he could have like tried to grab her wrist or something. But then again, I know what that's like trying to grab
Um.
somebody, like grab
Okay.
somebody who's like erratic,
Okay.
and it
You need to
doesn't
check.
really work well.
Okay. You need to listen to Mass Gent Culture when he says how to handle a woman. Well, he talk about how to handle a woman when women are fighting each other, but that can almost apply. Basically, you got to kind of put her in like a bear hug. Make
Yeah,
sure
yeah,
you get
yeah,
your
yeah.
arms around her arms so she can't flare out and hit at you. And you hold her until she calms down. Let her scream, holler, have her fit, curse you out, and you hold her till she calm down. I've done this with kids, done this with girls, boys. Basically, you gotta get them arms under control to keep them from frailing around. If you can get it where you can get a bear hug around her and her arms, and you hold her, and you hold her, and you let them scream it out, holler it out, curse you out, say all kind of things about you and your mama and all that other stuff, and you just hold on until they calm down. You still
Dave. I've
hold on
seen it. I've
after
seen
they
it. I've
calm down.
seen it before. I've seen it before. But I'm saying in this situation, if he missed, she was going for that gun anyway. So I guess this is one of those things where you better make sure you don't miss.
Mhm. Um, wait. Okay, he should have grabbed her before he got the gun. He should have hold on to her. She's hysterical. Because it sounds like she was almost hysterical about
And
him
that's gonna
leaving.
traumatize the kids too. So
No, that won't. No, that won't.
yeah, Willis.
No, that
Yeah,
won't.
Will.
If he's holding on to their mama while she's screaming, hollering, and cursing them
That
out,
scares
stuff like that.
kids. That stuff like that scares kids. They
Yeah,
were little. They were 5.
they were five. Yeah, okay, I've been there, done that. No, no. They'll get over it as he keeps a hold of her till she calms down. He holds her even more while she calms down. You know, rub her shoulders, talk with her, and talk calmly to her. They will settle down. They won't be traumatized. It'll be mom is having a fit, and yeah, they're gonna cry too. But as mom calm down and they both stay calm, and the children will calm down. They weren't by themselves. They were right there with their grandmother, and he just should have just held on to her and calm down. Let her calm down. She's gonna go through that. Shoes. I was 5 years old when my mom's fiance slapped and she went for the gun. I was not traumatized over mom shooting a gun. I was not traumatized when he slapped my mom. I was like, oh, because even I knew that was a no. You
I
seen
mean,
those
yeah, you know
movies
it's a no-no,
where,
but that's the fact is it scares you. That's what I'm saying. It scares you
uh, but I wasn't traumatized.
because in a little kid's head they're thinking, why is mama acting like that? And why is That
I was more upset when she was upset about the rent being stolen, and that we was already there was already late on the rent and they were behind, and then the rent got stolen. I was more upset about her being upset about that than I was that he slapped her, that she went got a gun, and that he was running, and that she shot him. Even though at the time we didn't know she shot him, we thought the bullet grazed him. But yeah.
damn, do a regular
So
kid
you
know what
see,
rent
the
is?
key was my mom was upset. I was upset when my mom was upset. I'm 5 years old now.
Yeah, but do a regular kid know what rent is?
Huh?
Does a regular everyday kid know what rent is?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, they know that there's a possibility they're not going to be living where they were living at. Now, maybe I might have been a little bit more annoying because my stepdad, my actual stepdad, my mom's husband, um, he have done some things where we couldn't pay rent and we had to leave and stuff like that. And you know, we was homeless for a few hours until my mom found another place. Either we stayed at a relative, she worked something out, might have stayed at a hotel, although I couldn't tell it from an apartment, so I wouldn't know. But I've also been through where the rent was paid, but we didn't have enough for the electricity or the gas or the water, you know, and Ashley had to make a decision to decide whether it was going to go with electricity, with gas, or water. Depending on the summertime, we paid the electricity, and then the gas and the water, or we paid the electricity and the water, and then saved the gas for for the next paycheck. Or if it's winter, we paid for the gas and the water until the next paycheck, because back then there was no central unit, so it was like heat, gas. You can cook, you can heat the house, and you can always yeah, you always had hot water, for the hot water tank and stuff like that. So it's gas. So yeah, so I was a little bit more aware, about what it means when you don't have a house. And I've seen my mom upset like that before. Some people would say she was hysterical, some people wouldn't.
I don't
Um,
think she was hysterical because I don't
yeah,
know,
she
like
was. Yeah, because
I
she
think
was
a
upset.
normal
She
human
wasn't.
reaction is to retaliate because
Yeah,
the way I explain it is
hmm
name a time period or an era or a place or a culture in the
hmm
entirety of human history where somebody can hit somebody and get away with it.
yeah, yeah. Because I seen my
That's
mom
the way
upset
I
like that with
explain it.
my stepfather, and I seen him slap him on the shoulder. Well, because it was his fault that we were was leaving. We was losing the place most of the time, or she was just hysterical because I mean, not hysterical. I don't know why I never used that term. She was upset. Um but my stepfather never slapped her. He never hit her.
Like keep your hands to yourself is a
Still, but he
yeah, it's a
held
yeah.
her when she was mad at him, and she was smacking him on the arms. He has held her until she calmed down. You know, rub her head, hold her in a grip. I've even seen him hold her in a arm and leg grip because she was kicking at him, and they fell into the bed. So it's like, well, while we here, he held her around the arms, and he wrapped his legs around her legs to keep her from kicking at him, because that's how mad he made her. So when my almost stepdad, her fiance slapped her, I knew that was a big no no. You know, my mom did not accept any. She considered that's an abuse. You know,
Well, it is an abuse. It is an abuse. It's not considered
there are,
abuse. It is an abuse, and that's my
unfortunately,
point. Like
yeah, there are
that's
some men.
exactly my point. In any situation, that's abuse.
Yeah. So yeah, but there's a lot of men that when we was growing up, when a woman was upset or hysterical, they would slap her to shock her out of it, and then work to calm her down.
Man, I thought that was just in the movies.
I was like, so didn't tolerate abuse. My grandfather didn't. And I think with my grandfather, he was doubly so because his sister got killed by her husband. His, and
Oh,
when she wanted to leave her husband because he was being ridiculously, outrageously jealous, and she couldn't stand it any longer. And he talked his sister. I said, no, 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 I'm gonna take him and talk to him and stuff like that. You know, you don't leave your house. You shouldn't let no man run your house. Let me talk with him. He thought the man was a good man until he killed his sister. So his idea of a good man, he was seeing the man from the outside. She was living with the man. She saw all the crazy things he do, like checking her underwear every time she went out the house. He wanted
so
to,
this dude is insecure, is what I'm getting.
yeah, yeah. And it turns out somebody was egging on his insecurities. Some guy he was working with
Oh.
was messing with his head. And then
I
turns
tell
out,
people quit doing that. Don't be.
mhm,
If you
yeah,
see an insecure person, don't be touching on the insecurities because you never know
yeah.
what they'll do.
Well,
And
from
the
the
same
story
thing
I
happened
heard,
in this sort of happened in this situation because looking at the account, you would have thought they were a happy family, but
mhm,
with the way she was hitting on him, I guess not.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, so we don't know what was going on there, but she went to an extreme, and that's why I asked: did she have to
I wish
go
Max
get the
was here.
gun, or did she have the gun in her hand? If she went to go get the gun, she was running under some strong emotion, and she reacted. I don't know what her mindset was about shooting him to keep him from leaving, but
Yeah,
that
that's not, like what you expect to happen. You shoot somebody, they die. Ain't no use in screaming now. He gone. He gone.
yeah, he left you for good. Now at least you could have saw him every once in a while. You could have probably worked on some things to get him back, or hey, you know,
Yeah, now you ain't never gonna get
you
him.
still
And now you gonna sit in prison
mhm.
thinking you lost your kids and you killed
Oh,
your husband, and the kids saw that and they're gonna remember that, and then they're
the
gonna
rest
grow up
of
and
it.
hate you. So I
Mhm.
mean,
Oh yeah.
that's horrible. That's horrible.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah.
And then you got to think about the family feud that's about to brew.
Yeah, that reminds me. It makes me think. I wish I kept up with them. Distant cousin of ours, her ex-husband killed her, but he didn't kill her in front of the kids. But the kids had to grow up knowing that their father killed their mother. And this is tripped out for a part about the whole situation with that. To me, he left his wife for I would say for another woman, but it was more like for him to run around. He wanted divorce. He initiated the divorce. She was trying everything to save her marriage, counseling, whatever problem he had, with her, was trying to work it out. But no, he wanted some other woman. He didn't want her no more. Told her love her. She gave up, and she went ahead and signed the divorce papers. So uh, fast forward 7 years later, she started dating again. Um, and she was talking with my mom a few days before that. She was talking with my mom, getting her advice about should she introduce the kids to him or not. Now, mom was giving her some advice. I said, "Well, how do you feel about him? You know, if he's just somebody you date, no, keep the kids and him separated." But if you saying y'all moving on from dating and you see yourself married to him or a life with him, then you should gradually introduce your kids to him. Because the man knows she has kids. He knew she had kids. But she never let them meet. She never let her kids know she was dating. When they were over with one of their grandparents, that's when she would arrange a date. When they were either with their dad, the grandparents, her mother, um, and getting to know him. Okay, so he's all of a sudden he finds out about this man. Um, I don't know, somebody let it slip that she was dating. All of a sudden, he's upset about having some strange man raise his kids, and he was making noise about, let's get back together. I want us to be a family once again. But she had moved on.
Red flag.
Where was this when I wanted this 7 years ago? I wanted this 5 years ago. I wanted this 4 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 years ago. I've been all for trying, you know. And she's like, no, no, um, this was best, this was for the best. And he went to her job and shot her. And then he was
So,
threatening to shoot himself when the police came for him.
um,
No, wait, no, wait. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, he did shoot himself. He shot himself when the police was coming. They were trying to talk him down, but he just ended it. So yeah, the kids grew up. Their father shot their mother, then he killed himself, and the grandparents were kind of fighting for them.
see, the way that I'm thinking is there are usually signs of an abuser, and that was exactly my point earlier
Hmm.
about her hitting him
Yeah.
in the Khadijah Brown case, because and I hear what Mac's saying. Yeah, their hits
Hmm.
don't hurt you or whatever, but like what I said, what matters to me is
Hmm.
if you feel comfortable doing it.
Yeah.
If you feel comfortable hitting me, if you feel comfortable grabbing a weapon and ushering it in my direction, that's a major problem to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Did they
so
say has she ever done that to him before?
no,
Pull
but there was a history. There was a history of domestic violence, and it seems like she's the aggressor. And I guess they've gotten into fights before,
Hmm.
and I guess she saw that there was nothing that she could say
Yeah.
to keep him from leaving, and she she felt like he was leaving her with those kids,
Hmm.
and she I mean she even said in the video, I didn't mean to, and I was like, BS, you pulled the trigger. Like, firing a gun is multiple actions, not just pulling the trigger. It's going to retrieve the gun, coming back, pointing it at the person you want to kill, or off. Sorry, I know you can't say that word on YouTube. Um, See,
Yeah.
that's why I
That's
felt
good.
conflicted about like what Max said. Like,
Uh-huh.
it's about their comfortability doing such a thing towards you.
Yeah.
And in
Um.
my brain, it's like if
Yeah.
she can't control herself, then that's a problem. We shouldn't be together. In my
Yeah.
head,
Yeah. That's
because
true.
in my head, you're an adult. I'm an adult. We should both be able to make rational decisions for ourselves. We both
Hmm.
have bodily autonomy. Like I want you to do some. Lift up your hand and squeeze your hand. You have bodily autonomy. You can control yourself. And in that moment, she chose to off him. Even if she was upset, I
Hmm.
understand that we can't discount emotion, but there is such a thing as allowing a situation to sit on the wall for a bit before you address it. Because when you don't, and you keep poking and poking and poking, stuff like this happens.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess parts still find it hard to believe, but yes, this is domestic abuse.
It's rare, but it happens. It,
Mm-hmm.
like
Yeah.
you don't see many situations of ladies killing their husbands or their families. But the point is that it happens. To me, it's not whether it's rare or not. It's is it possible?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And all the signs were here, and I just wish dude would have got out of there when she said murder scene, because in my head
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
she about to off me. I don't
Yeah.
know what I done did to make her that mad, but I just don't get it, Dame. I don't get it. And I wish Max was here. I don't get it. How do you feel comfortable attacking somebody who you had kids with, somebody who you say you love? I don't get it.
Mm.
I just don't. Even in the situations that you pose, like if in my head, if I say I love you, there is no ill intentions towards you at all. It's
Mm-hmm.
literally only the best. So I guess there
Yeah.
is a thing called moments of weakness, but that don't matter in the law. So
Yeah. Yeah. Um, I think that okay. I think there was a certain level of selfishness because she forgot about everything and everybody in that room and how they feel, only about how she felt. She felt she didn't want him to leave, and she was hurting because he was leaving, and she wanted to stop him to leave. It might have been in her mind she thought, I'm gonna threaten him with the gun if he leaves, but she was in not the right mindset, and she pulled the trigger. Either he said, I don't care, I'm going, and she tried to um call
stop him.
stop him, or stop him from calling her bluff, and end up shooting him. She might have been intent to shoot the wall in front of him, or to the side of him, or the door. I don't know. Wait a minute, I gotta watch the video, so I can't even comment it because I ain't even see the video.
I mean, you can pull it up here. It's not go
Ah,
ahead.
I always every time
But
I start
I'm just
trying to
it's just
see,
like
choose a
if you're
video.
sensitive to kids crying, don't I would
Uh,
say don't
nah,
watch it up here.
uh, um, no, it's just that every time I pull a video spontaneously, it kind of backfires on me. So no, it probably might bother me. But if I'm expecting it, you know, I think it'll bother me more if I was like right there in person and having kids crying. I think
Since
I'm gonna wait because I thought I could handle. There was a video we had looked for, the one where this guy shot. Um, he had already shot his her mother. He shot her in the head with an AK. I think it was an AK-47. It was one of them the guns.
Jesus.
It made a big softball sized hole in her head. Where her eye was, there was just a big hole all the way through, and blood on the floor. And he's apologizing to her body, saying he had to protect himself.
She gone now.
Yeah, and the video we had was the blurred one for it was still too much. I couldn't take it. It shocked, it surprised me. Me and Max couldn't take it. I kept having to stop it, and that's why we just paused it on where she's on the ground, and we just left it there, and it still was too much. We had to pull it, and for a while there we couldn't do videos for a while. We went through. We're not doing any more of these videos where these men have killed their girlfriends, their wives, their children, and then something more upsetting would come up, and we would do the video, and we go through this cycle of we're not doing it anymore, we can't take it, it's too much, and then something we felt needs to be talked about, need to be said, and then we go through another round of this. But that one, for the longest time, that one we could not. That's why Max still talk about it. He still talks about you go through some past videos when we're talking about these men talking about killing black women, or black men have killed pregnant women, black men
Right.
have killed the
I
woman.
think the most recent one was with where like the guy off his girlfriend and then fed the kid to the alligator. That was in Florida.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and
That was hard.
I was like, there is a mental illness here.
Hmm.
I really think so because you have to think about it, and this is why I like to share knowledge, so I'm gonna share knowledge with you.
Hmm. Hmm.
So for somebody to off somebody, you have to cross a mental barrier.
Hmm.
You have to cross a mental barrier. In that, I'm talking in the same situation with this too, as well as
Hmm.
those other guys who off their ladies and any other women who have off their guys. You have to cross a mental barrier in order to do that. And
Hmm.
once you do that, your psyche literally snaps. You become desensitized to it. You become desensitized to blood, bodies, death. You become desensitized to it. So that is why I think there's a sort of illness going around here.
Hmm.
Because when you're desensitized to death and offing in bodies, guess what happens? You get more comfortable doing it, and it gets easier and easier.
Hmm.
So, me personally, I think people who have off people should live in a separate community because that's not normal behavior.
Hmm.
That's not normal at all.
Right. Yeah. The alligator thing is like the final straw. Okay, they keep saying why do not women um do not let the man have the child, especially if he saying he wants the child. Well, in cases of we had several incidents where the case where the woman did trust him with the child, let him um uh be with the child, spend time with the child, have his he has rights to his child, and then out of nowhere he kills the child, or he put the child in a dangerous situation.
And that's why I think there needs to be a reform in like the whole adoption system and the family court system. The person who gets the child should literally get a psyche valve
Hmm.
because if we're concerned about the safety of the kid, right?
Hmm.
The person literally should have a psyche valve, and for a couple months after, have somebody go in there and check on the child.
Hmm.
In my head, that's how you get this stuff to stop happening. But
Hmm.
I guess it takes a lot of legislation or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
But that's me, a rational person. So you're dealing with
yeah.
irrational people and lazy people when you talk about this stuff.
Hmm. Yeah.
I know to people in the chat and the audience, this is a sensitive topic.
Uh,
But
I
yeah,
think they pretty much are staying quiet about it. It's just me, you, and maybe three other people in here. I hadn't seen any. I hadn't seen anything. They cloud watching, but we're about to wrap it up anyhow. So
All right, then I'll just give my last words on the Shanquella case.
okay.
I thought it would already came out that the dude who arrived late orchestrated the whole thing.
Hmm.
But if it's as you guys are saying, femicide, then I don't. I think it would be a case of jealousy by
Hmm.
selfish because she's a pretty woman
Hmm.
and she the one who took her friends, her so-called friends, on that trip. So
Yeah.
did they take her money? Did they? There's so many
Okay.
questions here. There's no doubt that they are the ones who did it, which is enough for me that
Hmm.
they should be locked up. Heck, there's video evidence that she was assaulted by them, and then the
Yeah.
bystanders watched it. In Texas, they would all get charged with manslaughter,
Yeah.
no doubt. But
Yeah.
because it's already came out that they were planning on it, they would all get charged with first degree. So,
Hmm.
and that's what they all should get, to be honest. You got a lot of
Yeah.
snakes out here,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. Now the femicide thing, that's the deal with that's with Mexico. Mexico was charging with femicide. They see it as any kind of hate crime with a female. Their logic is because they hated Shanquella, who happened to be female, then it
True,
was
they
a
did
hate
hate
crime.
her.
Hmm.
They did hate her.
Hmm.
Like
So they
you don't,
considered there
if
was a
you saw the
femicide.
video, you don't hit nobody like that unless you actually, you know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
there's a theory that that's when her back was broken because the way she flopped around in that sitting position and stuff like that, it's like she didn't have any control of her body, and she wasn't moving after that. Supposedly she said something. She said they said you need to fight back, and she said no, and that was the last thing she said
See, that's the
before
that
they
that
hit
tells
her
me
again.
that tells me that she ain't do nothing. They were just bullies. That
Hmm.
tells me that she ain't even do nothing
Hmm.
if she said no to fighting back.
Yeah.
Because that's classic bully victim stuff. When the
Yeah.
bully tells you to fight back and you say no. That's
Hmm.
like that's schoolyard stuff.
Hmm.
So
According to one of the girls, the Edson girls, the Winter girl,
yeah,
supposedly
the white girl.
Shanquella did something that that she shouldn't have done, or they felt was some kind of betrayal. And I was like,
So you
uh,
go so you go offer? That's crazy.
mhm,
Because like I don't know if you saw like all that happened. Like
mhm,
it written out and explained in a document,
mhm.
but it was like they were taking turns.
Yeah,
And
that's what
so
I
I
heard.
was
I heard Winter had got some licks on her too. Um, yeah.
see I don't
Yeah,
play I
yeah.
see
And then there
those
was
people like
then there was that so-called rumor that she lied about something that got Dejanay's brother um killed or attacked or something like that.
so it see here's the thing if that's the case
Mm-hmm.
then there would be no issue leaking that stuff.
Yeah.
That's my thing. If that's true, then there would be no you would have no reason not to leak that information
Mm-hmm.
to me because because that's it's not justifiable, but it's what it
Mm-hmm.
is motive.
Yeah.
And if you leak that motive, the states might spare you some time
Mm-hmm.
because they would probably consider it a crime of passion.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't believe that.
Yeah,
I
because
really don't believe that because
I would have been leaking it left and right.
exactly
If I was
because
being accused of it, I'd been like, nope, nope, nope. I intend to just beat her behind because she said some kind of lie that got my brother attacked and killed, or attacked or killed. I don't know what the hell she.
and the state might spare you for that.
Mm-hmm.
They might
And
spare you sometime. You might not get first degree. You might get manslaughter.
mm-hmm. Yeah,
So
yeah.
um
The intent was not to kill.
that's why I don't believe him because if that was true, then you should have been leaking it. Like the
Yeah.
first day that this surged on the internet, you should have leaked it from your account or
Mm-hmm.
from a separate account.
And
So
then
I don't believe
it,
that.
it wasn't coming from Deja. It's supposed to have been one of the other two girls had said that supposedly, because there was a lot of fake people going around saying they were this and they were that, and they weren't. They weren't that person. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so with that Shanquella case, hey, it's just watch your friends, watch the people you call friends, be careful with that.
And
And
don't go on no trips.
don't be too loose with calling people friends either.
Yeah, don't be going to no trips out of the country with these people. Ooh,
And dudes, you're not exempt. That goes for you too.
yeah.
Cause quiet as kept, dudes be getting set up by other dudes because they want some the other dude got.
Mm-hmm. Or they robbed
Um,
him, or they
yep.
steal his woman, or they sleep with his girl, or they, yeah,
Or slap his mama.
or sleep with his mama.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
dudes, watch your back too. And that goes double for the ladies because I don't know
yeah.
what's been going on these past 11 months, but it seems like the ladies can't trust each other or whatever. And
It used to be you
let's
can, but you used to be able to know who was your friend, who was not. But it does happen. You have some friends that are jealous or not happy for you. I had to I witnessed this because I didn't have many friends that were jealous of me, and if they were, I didn't understand why they were jealous. But anyway, that usually has something to do with a family issue. But I seen it with my mom was young when she had me. She was like, well, they don't consider that young. 20. She was 20 when she had me. So she was in the 20s raising me. She had friends in the 20s, and they do stuff. She had friends. She had a friend. I was trying to understand why she was not hanging with this person anymore, why she wasn't telling her certain things. Turns out this woman was not happy when my mom was doing well and she was not. If she was having some issue in her life, my mom was doing well. My mom was telling her about the good things that was happening to her. She'd be jealous of my mom, and she would tear my mom down or insult her, or she would do all kind of little passive aggressive stuff. So my mom had learned not to tell her about anything good with her unless there was good things happening with her herself. If her friend was having good things, then she would. But eventually, she kind of backed away from that person because it was starting to be a problem. Because eventually that don't be enough, and they use you as a scapegoat for everything they're not happy about with their life. Even when they're
yeah,
happy with their life, it's not as good as compared to this person and stuff like that. And they were getting into more and more fights, so they stopped hanging with each other. They eventually grew out of it. They became friends again. They just weren't as close as they were before, but they still felt for each other. When my mom was sick, she showed some concern. She prayed for my mom, and she tried to help my mom. And when she was sick, my mom did the same thing. They didn't
man,
want to death
I
each
wouldn't
other.
have trusted that stuff.
They grew up out of it. They, they eventually grew up
That's a
out of it.
blessing. That's a blessing, but I wouldn't have trusted it. because that would have been like me
Yeah.
trying to finish
My
me off.
mom said you gotta really know your friends, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Then you know where they at, and you gotta accept your friends are who they are, and you gotta accept them where they at. If you cannot accept them where they at, or they too toxic for you, then you get away from them. But you gotta accept the good parts of your friend and the bad parts of your friend. You know.
Yeah, because I mean that even happened like near where I went to school. Because I go to college
Mm-hmm.
and it's near Houston, and this gal went with her friends, all girls,
Mm-hmm.
and they were going to Houston to have fun. And what happened was, I guess the car crashed, and they all left the girl to bleed out there at the car crash.
Whoa.
They all survived, but they ain't tell her mom or anything. They just left her there. So what everybody thinks happened is they caused that crash to happen, or they set her up, and she died for another reason.
Whoa.
So it's a that's why I say it's not a gender issue. It's a people thing.
Yeah. Shoot.
I mean, even heck, if you're a Bible person, I know Max is Christian, I think,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
even in the Bible, it talks about uh, snakes. It talks
Uh-huh.
about snakes. So
Uh-huh.
you just got to know your friends. And if you ain't comfortable going nowhere with them, don't go nowhere with them so you get to know them better.
Yeah.
And watch their mannerisms. I know nobody actually says this. Watch how
Uh-huh.
they behave.
Yeah.
Watch their mannerisms. Watch their facial expressions when you tell them stuff, even if
Yeah.
it's about themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Watch their expressions.
Yeah. Their mannerism, their actions. Yeah.
But
And
audience, hey, that's I'm
And
sorry.
yeah, and pay attention to your instincts. If just something is telling you off, or that you have a feeling that they're jealous, or they uh, they faking it. You know, they faking the happy, or they faking that they're happy for you, or stuff like that. Uh, don't try to shrug it off as is really happening. A lot of times what happens is people shrug it off or make it an excuse for it. This person is really jealous. They're not happy for you.
Matter of fact,
You may
they
not
hate
know.
you.
Oh yeah, or they hate you.
So you see that goes, man. The Bible, I swear, the Bible is the ultimate book because it be talking about all this stuff. So
Oh yeah.
if you're
So I
Christian,
guess.
read your Bible.
hmm Yeah. So I guess
But
you're gonna be
I
coming
just
on
wanted
and
I
we'll be
just wanted
talking
to tell the
Bible stuff.
audience that so that we
Mhm.
don't so that nobody over here experience something like that,
Yeah.
and we
Yeah.
don't ever see them
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
But I'm
But
gonna go ahead and head out.
yeah. But through growing up, you do tend to experience it. You know, as you grow up. But usually we thinking that it ends at high school. That the thanks Dimitri. We tend to think that all the friends who no longer your friends because they hate you, that it ends the frenemies, um the jealousy, that it ends when we become adults and stuff like that. No, it continues on into adulthood. You think because you knew this person, you know all your life or your childhood, that they don't have some feel some kind of way about you, and you might be ignoring where like, oh no, 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 we've been close our life, we are best friends and stuff like that. And you're wrong. No, 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 no. You may be wrong. Sometimes you gotta confront your friend and make them express how they really feel about you. Or are they jealous? So either they could get past it or they can't, and you know what you're dealing with. But anyway, I'm gonna call it a night. We're gonna end it. thanks you coming for the first ladies and ladies and gent night. Um, we'll probably have a regular ladies night next week, or we might try it again, depending on what we're gonna talk about. You know. All right, peace, power, and unity, everyone. I'll catch y'all next time, and we're gonna leave out with a little music. Okay. All right, here we go.
I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take me for granted and you know I'm leaving. I'ma take what's mine with the webs I'm weaving. I could take this crowd from seeing to believing. Got a taste for blood and my tongue keeps bleeding. From the words I spit, so sharp, so freezing, so cold. Behold, frostbite they feeling. I could tear you apart or I could go heal them. Don't believe in fate, don't believe in ceilings. I just need a taste and my mind starts feeling. I don't pace myself, I grind on kneeling. Got lust for change, I just love the feeling. I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times. Cause anything worth doing is a tough climb. I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times. Cause anything worth doing is a tough Cause time. I'ma live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I go by at night, I be in my feelings. I'ma be fine, need time, and I'll soon be winning. I live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I go by at night, I be in my feelings. I'ma be fine, need time, and I'll soon be winning. I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go